city lights. Dreams are moving through the wires, one step closer every day. Building futures, finding ways. No rush, no race, just another brick in place. Build it slow, build it strong. Keep your vision moving on. Mind pillar through the noise, making sense of every choice. Build it slow, build it right. Keep your eyes upon the light. Every cycle, every mile, growing stronger all the while. Markets rising, markets fall. Still we answer every call. Learning something every day, finding value on the way. Build it slow, build it slow, build it strong. Keep moving on. Bitcoin, coin, 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 Bitcoin.
Oh yes. Oh yes, legends. How's everybody doing? Hope you're doing great today. Let's analyze the situation. One more day for the price of Bitcoin. Let's go. Hang on a minute. Having some technical issues here. Much love to everybody. Let's see what's going on. No voice. The voice is now live. I was just talking about this session that Devil's brother made for me, and I need to still sort it out with the software here. Still having some technical issues. Viva España! Sanjay, much love. Spain's playing today against Cabo Verde in about 3.5 hours from now, so we have to watch that one. Joan, much love. Hello, Andy and Legends. Distance Music, vamos. Wayne, how are you? Nice to see you around again. Longing SPCX and shorting BTC, lol. I'm interested in shorts on Bitcoin, there's no doubt about it. We did not create a local top. I mean, this was for me the only acceptable short attempt. Only if we were to get a reaction from the local highs. We broke out pretty aggressively here, and as explained yesterday, there's a huge gap here with no resistance. We were talking about this on yesterday's update, and you know, even in the Telegram, in the community, we were talking about the amount of resistance that there is, and the amount of resistance that we do not have until we get to 66.7k. That's something that I want to share with you guys here, which we talked about a few days ago inside of the trading community, levels and scenarios. But just to be aware that there is a pretty significant gap with gap with no major resistance above 64.6k, right? You got some little SFPs, which we SFP'd from 64,695, and then we ended up breaking up, right? And now we're trading above 66k. So I'm not interested in shorts in this area because we don't have any confluence, no resistance, no, and it's a problem for me to look for a short position. So yesterday was in no shorts. I did not get into any new shorts. We did not double top locally, and as we broke above 66.5k, and I'm just not interested in shorts at the moment. I am interested, but we need to see some levels being hit, different formations that I want to explain. As Distance Music said here, shorting BTC, right? Well, I hope you do have a plan. I hope you do have good risk management, because I have a little bit of an issue right now shorting Bitcoin at this point. We're not hitting a huge resistance zone as of yet, and the price can go to higher levels, right? So we'll be discussing a little bit of what is happening here internally on the 1 hour 15-minute time frame to see what projections, what waves, what resistance, what support levels do we have for some local setups, local entries. This is the beauty about understanding that this could be a wave 1 and this could be a wave 2. It could be a wave A, it could be a wave B. I do not know what this could be, right? Is it going to be a wave 2 or a wave B? I know it can be either one of these two. So this is the importance of understanding where there could be a swing long opportunity in this territory that was mentioned last week, right? If this ends up being a wave 1 and this is a wave 2, we don't know if we're going to follow up with multiple 1-2s and break out in a wave 3, followed by 4-5s that could be very aggressive. Maybe a 5th wave is going to be an extension. And this is what's very hard for a lot of people to understand. When you're so bearish, you're so downtrending, bear market, lows to be around about 50k or 40k, I'm just going to wait for lower. And then you end up getting a bounce that could go to much higher prices, right? Let's just stay realistic here. I didn't know that we were going to, break above this zone a few $1,000s. I know it was an option, but this is why, shorts, yeah, they're interesting at double tops unless you get a sign of weakness, break of structure, and then the bounce needs to be your short trigger, right? When you're shifting the uptrend momentum. This was still forming a higher low. We mentioned that the invalidation for multiple 1-2s was clearly 63,350. As long as we maintain above that higher low, we could pop out with a big move, right? Big move. I mean, this is a $2,000 move, nothing too extreme here, but still significant. High volume, high volume locally, right? If we compare it to the volume, this volume here, then obviously it has nothing to do, but it could build up, right? That's a thing. And this reminds me very much of the price action that we did have in this territory back in April. Back in April, I think a lot of people were not expecting, including myself, this rally, even though I did manage to catch that swing long in this zone. When you have this price action, and let's do a replay here, just for entertainment purposes, right? When you cut the price here, there's nothing bullish about this, right? When you understand the structure and the waves and how this is forming, you are going to give a chance to the bulls here to form a higher low, right? Which was discussed back in April. You have the movement down, very choppy, bear flag looking structure, which you might expect a breakdown to come and claim sub $60,000, right? This is just an example, so you can see, the chances here. This is a very crucial point where a lot of people are bearish. The music a little bit too loud, probably. So, it just reminds me very much of this scenario. This scenario that we had back in April, right? March, April, where you have a possible diagonal. You have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3-wave down, coming into major support, which is the value area low point of control of this territory. This is a zone that, without a doubt, looks attractive to look for long positions, because you realize that the highs at 76,000 plus can be reached. You can form a $10,000 move in the weeks ahead, right? So when we do take a look at the local price action, of course, then this is what happened, right? We ended up rallying here. We did not claim $60,000 till a couple of months later. When we do take a look at this local structure, as we were explaining last week, we give the options, right? Then obviously you want to take it with a pinch of salt, because we can be wrong. We can, it's just a possible projection. We talk about a bullish case and a bearish case, and when we understand that this could be a leading diagonal, despite it being lower probability or not, you need to give it a chance. And if you are coming down to a major support level, which was this point of control, and you have the possibility of this being a 3-wave structure, especially with this pump. This pump was my trigger, okay? You either get the double bottom or you get the reversal signs, understanding that this structure could be finished at this low thanks to this pump, because you were missing a couple of 4-5s here to form a impulsive move, right? So when we got this rally, this for me was the trigger. I'm thinking, we can take out these highs, and most bullish case scenario would be developing 1, 2, 1, 2, right? 1, 2, 3, right? And then we probably form 4-5s. Who knows, right? We might extend here with 4-5s, and the 5th wave does get a major blast off. It's just giving the possibility of that projection, and understanding that this zone is very, very valid for a swing long. The main idea, first of all, is looking for the price to take out 64.2k, right? That's the first major target that you are projecting here, just in case it forms an ABC and you roll over, right? So that's no shorts for me. The only short position that I had valid yesterday was you either double top from here, and then obviously if you do double top, you got your short trigger, you got your risk management stop loss, and you give that possibility of the price rolling over. Shorting into strength, into local strength, right, is just hoping that the price is going to reverse at some point. So for me, I don't have no strategy. I know that is a losing strategy. I cannot short where we are at the moment. I cannot short yesterday. I cannot short if I don't see any rejection at a double top, unless you get the sign of weakness, right? And then obviously the shorts become interesting once you get a little consolidation that we can confirm it looks corrective. So we didn't get any of that, and with the momentum is still bullish throughout the last couple of weeks. So how high can we go? That's what we're going to discuss in this live stream. So make sure to stay tuned. I am remaining long, mainly on gold. Gold doing very, very well since we formed that SFP from the lows of March. Also that nice reaccumulation point of control. This is a zone where it's a reaccumulation. It is a demand zone, which if the price comes down to, it is natural to get a demand reaction, right? Because this is a reaccumulation. You get back up, you come back down to the demand reaccumulation zone. It is natural to get a reaction bounce. And I know some people were asking about gold, and I'm, happy, got into that long position, because I did recognize that this was a very, very strong, valid SFP level. Now the price of gold is bouncing almost $300, which, those are the only two main trades that I do have open, which is gold and Bitcoin, which are doing very, very well. So June looks like it's going to be a nice month with Bitcoin long and gold long, basically. Okay, did have a short attempt throughout last week in this zone that ended up in a stop loss, lost a couple of $1,000s, nothing too major, managing risk here, giving the chance of a lower high. And then when we got this price action, I'm not too sure about the shorts, right? As it discussed yesterday, we need either a double top or a good sign of its strength, okay, on the bear side with an impulse, right? You need to break that structure, get below 63,350, which we didn't. And this is the main reason about this pop, right? Because we discussed we could still form another 1-2 here. If we do form another higher low 1-2, the move to the upside can be a significant rally, right? Which is what we are seeing ever so slightly, right? Not that it's a huge move to the upside, but it's a nice little pop up, okay? So we're going to break down a little bit what I need to see. When you consider the multiple 1-2s, this becomes such an obvious. First of all, let me just give that disclaimer, guys, okay, just for that reminder that the content is for educational purposes only and is not financial advice. The information provided is not guaranteed to be accurate or complete. Always conduct your own research before making any financial decision. Okay, no financial advice on the channel, neither myself or Devil, okay? It's just education, content, and our personal opinion. This becomes such an obvious zone that people want to short. It's just so damn obvious that people want to short this zone after claiming a high. It's a obvious zone to short. The amount of liquidity that we had above 64.7k was, it was a lot. It's silly liquidity, right? 400, 500. It's just, there was a lot of liquidity above 64.7k, which was the recent highs of the range. And there's still plenty of liquidity to the upside, hundreds of millions of short liquidation. So this, a lot of people must have short this area without a doubt, having that liquidity, feeling extremely bearish. And that's the moment where you realize that upside momentum is very much on the cards with the multiple 1-2 scenarios. So as explained yesterday, for me, no shorts, even though getting this leg down. On the bullish side of things, which maybe a lot of people were skeptical about, is the invalidation of the multiple 1-2s. If you would have longed and had a stop loss on this correction beneath that invalidation to take out the highs and possibly break out in a wave 3, you would be well better off, right? We make people understand what is the invalidation of the local bullish structure. I was in a long already, but this long was kind of attractive as well. And Devil, the man himself, did talk about longing the correction here. Okay, Devil, the legend inside of the trading community, surprise, talking about actually the possibility, of course, of bouncing at that golden pocket 7-8 territory and forming a higher low here at the 63.2k area. So shout out to Devil as well in the trading community, of course, talking about this potential bounce to rally and get above the highs, which I do get it. A lot of people would be skeptical about this situation, thinking, this is topping out. We tested the highs, but naturally, whoever longed here is printing right now, right? Shorts, very difficult. Shorts, very difficult in this territory unless you got into that SFP for a good entry. There's no way in a million years I will short here, and this was explained yesterday. I'm not shorting, okay, as we do form higher lows with bullish market structure. This move down, I'm not shorting down here. We need to see a proper break of structure, which is breaking that $63,350 level, which did not hit, right? If that doesn't happen, we are still bullish. Locally, that is, okay? Higher time frames, yes, we're in a bear market and all of that. Yeah, that's all good and nice, but we are here to try and make gains throughout the weeks, right? If we have a bullish week, we're going to have to go with the momentum to the upside. So for the moment, not interested in any short positions at the moment. Okay, we can get some plans ready. I will explain invalidations, major levels of confluence, and what I am looking for here to take that short, right? Because I am interested in shorts, but I'm in no shorts. So, when are you going to short? I need to explain exactly what level needs to be hit and, what kind of structure needs to develop in the next coming days to start realizing that there is weakness on the chart and that the bears do have advantage after creating that weakness. Let's go quickly through the comment section and say hello to the beautiful community. Just out of respect, of course, 260 people watching the stream at the moment. Make sure to smash up that like button. Let's do a like button recount and see what is going on. Smash it up. 50 likes, we can get 200 likes, guys. If you don't want to know the scenarios, then don't smash up the like button. If you want to know the scenarios that I'm looking for to make my next trade, smash up the like button, guys. Come on. Let's go. Let's get to 100 likes at least. We're giving the scenarios, the invalidations, and the possibilities, right? And prices pumping. We were very much aware of this, that it could happen yesterday. Major breakout in a wave 3. This is the moment that I was talking about. People are going to believe that I'm, smoking crack here because, this is clearly bearish, right? We ain't going to form multiple 1-2s here and break out in a wave 3, right? And then 24 hours later, we are actually pumping. We are moving up. So, yeah, we're going to discuss a few of the scenarios in this live stream. Okay, we got time. Much love to everybody. Let's go through comment section and then we'll break down a few of the scenarios, okay, that I'm looking for on Bitcoin. Hey, Chief Legend Andy and all you lovely traders. Hope you're having a great day. Rose, much love to you. Thanks for joining. A Trader, love Monday streams. The best way to start the week. Absolutely it is. Much love, my man. Anup. Andy Taco BTC. Let's go. Yo, Andy, nice greeting from Malaysia. Colin, much love. From Spain, Olivia, hey, hello, legends, much love. 15 likes before stream, nice. Yes, sir, yes, sir. Daniel Singleton, afternoon, my man. Hope you're doing well. Nice to see you around. Much appreciated. Rose, I tried a short but didn't work out. On to the next. We need to be very, very responsible, right? With our short trades. Andy, is it possible to put music slightly softer? Struggling to hear you. Yes, I know. I know, my man. Sorry about that. I'm just testing here this session that Devil's brother got ready for me, and yeah, I need to work out to to put it well, right? Love from India. Yesh, how are you doing? Hi, Andy. If the move down from 74.2 to 59 was a wave 3, aren't we now hitting a common rejection zone for wave 4, which is the 0382 here at 66.4? Michael, Andy, thank you for your great work. You're very welcome, my man. LFG, legends. Remus, much love. Okay, so yeah, about this question, if we are from 74k, yeah, this would be, I'm not sure if you're looking at logarithmic, but from 77k basically. Yeah, this is this should be the zone. Let me just be clear here on the invalidation of yesterday. We were talking about the higher time frame. Can this be an impulse to the downside on the formation? There's two scenarios here where there is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 extended fifth wave, which actually looks pretty attractive. And then there is the classic impulse where you form multiple 1-2s, right? Where you have a 1, 2, 1, 2, and then your wave 3. As you said here, your hard invalidation for this is $70,000, $70,700. So this is actually the rejection zone for your wave 4. It's going to be a little bit problematic right now because we have a few options. It's not going to be an easy short. I will likely miss the Pico top for a short trade if we do roll over at any point, either here or either at 50% or maybe higher. I'm very likely going to miss the high, and I'll explain why. I will have to do my best to rejoin later on if we end up, getting a sign of weakness. I need to get into the next rangy structure after getting a reversal. Okay, and you may ask why, right? Why aren't you trying to get at the highs, right? Well, because we could pump to higher levels. Why could we pump to higher levels? Because unfortunately, some structures are very clear and very high probability. But the movement down that we got from 82.6k, right, 82.8k actually, around about that zone, to the low is, what do we have here, right? What do we have here? What is the highest probability movement down that we got here? And unfortunately, we do have a few options. If I'm just going to be blinded thinking that this is an impulse to the downside that is unfinished, okay? An impulsive move that is unfinished here. Yeah, well, I'm just going to keep it simple here as this wave 1 and wave 2. But then you have 1, 2, 3, potential 4 in this. There's some little consolidations here that you can fit a shallow wave 4 for the wave 3 basically. But keeping it simple, if this is going to be your classic impulse, where your wave 3 is the most aggressive one, right? This is the most common impulse when we consider how the market moves, right? Considering Elliott wave theory, highest amount of volume, the most aggressive move down. If I'm just going to be blinded in this scenario, then I'm going to be shorting very aggressively this pump at the 382, right? 50% Fibonacci zone, which is currently where we're coming into right now, right? And I mean, if you believe that this is the pattern that is forming, right? The Elliott wave scenario that's forming, your invalidation, if you think that an impulse is unfinished here, which is developing your wave 4, and your wave 5 needs to come here throughout the next coming weeks. This is your rejection area between 66.2 and 68.5k. This would be your zone where you would have to reject in this case, with your invalidation being the golden pocket. So, I mean, obviously the risk to reward is not that great. I mean, it's still good if it ends up, it's at least a 2-to-1. Right, if you want to look to claim the lows below 59k in the next 1 to 2 weeks, you should be topping out in this territory. But if this was very clear that this scenario is the one that is going to play out, I would probably say, you know what, I'm going to enter here with 0.5 and I'll add another 0.5 if we get to 68.5. Stop loss inevitably is going to be 70.7k, because your wave 4 cannot reach the golden pocket, right? That means that you're not looking for an unfinished impulse. That is the invalidation for your wave 4. If you do hit 70.7k, then that means that what you formed here is a finished move. You have something finished from 82.7 to 59k. That's a finished move if you do manage to rally to 70.7k. And what you're forming here is something completely different. It's not a wave 4. Now, the problem with this scenario, as somebody pointed out, right, if this is an unfinished impulse, shouldn't we be rejecting in this territory, right, with max level being the 70.7k golden pocket for your wave 4? And I would say yes. I mean, if this is going to be the valid count, where you have an unfinished impulse and you're forming a wave 4 to then roll over in a wave 5, this is your rejection area. But unfortunately, And this is why I'm not shorting at the moment. Neither yesterday, neither today. I need to see a major move down, right? We're having bullish structure. Momentum is to the upside. And trying to time the high here is not recommended. Unfortunately, we do have the possibility with this, very confusing, rangy structure that this is an extended fifth wave, right? It is a finished impulse, however, with a fifth wave extension. And, that is a major problem for the bears that think that we're going to reject somewhere in this zone, because you would still be forming your correction. Your correction could still be another 1 to 2 weeks easily, and even reach the fourth wave area, which is a common area of retracement after forming an impulse, even if it's an extended wave 5. Okay, so it seems unreal here, but I know that this is very, very possible. There is a possibility of rallying all the way up to 74k plus, which is the wave 4 territory. So yeah, I'm not confident in taking a short at the moment. Price is rallying. This could be a finished wave, and if this is a finished wave, we would have a few weeks of upside momentum with pullbacks. Naturally, that could happen, but ultimately looking for a 3-wave move. We've coming to finish an impulsive move in the next coming days, right? We're developing wave 3. We need to have 4 5s, get a bit of choppiness to the upside, and that would only be a possibility for a larger wave 1 or a wave A. So, which could be a wave A, wave B, right? And then wave C. Out of all of this movement, that is just a retracement from the aggressive move down. And then, shorts could be interesting in a couple of weeks once we get this higher time frame information. This is the 4-hourly time frame, but I understand that this could basically bounce to higher prices, and to take a short right now with this uptrend momentum that we're having, to detect the exact high, it's dangerous. Because if this were to be an extended fifth wave, we could come up all the way up to the golden pocket 7/8 Fibonacci, which is all the way up here, right above 74k, which would be surprising for many, even for myself. Not saying that this is going to happen, I just know that this could happen. So other scenarios is a 3-wave correction. We discussed this yesterday. However, I think this is low probability that this would be a corrective move down, just because of the extension that we got here in this latest move. It is very, very rare, either in an ABC or a WXY. Okay, there's a lot of waves and overlap here, and you can map out a situation where you have a WXY or an ABC. The fact that you have the C wave or the Y wave being so heavily extended, even over twice the length of your wave A or wave W, it doesn't matter. It is actually quite rare. Extensions of your wave C usually goes to the 1236, 1382. Maybe the 1.618 is also already quite rare, but going even further is even more rare for this. But it's not an invalidation; it's just rare. You don't see it that often. Could this be the case where you have a sharp C wave or Y wave in a double zigzag that gets that's over twice the length of your wave W or your wave A? Maybe yes, maybe it is. You don't give it the highest probability because it is quite rare. I would give higher probability to a fifth wave extension. So based on this ABC 3-wave structure or WXY double zigzag, your Y wave, C wave is well overextended, which is very, very rare to be over twice the length here. So it's not an invalidation, you just don't see it very often. So we would give it a chance. If that is the case, then price does have the opportunity to take out 82.8k in a matter of a few weeks, give or take. You know, it might be 3, it might be 5. All depends on how powerful the movement up can be, but that would be very, very surprising. It seems unlikely, but it is something that could happen, especially because you could form a flat 3-wave up, 3-wave down. I'm not favoring that this is a 3-wave down, but there's no invalidation for it. It's just rare that your CY wave was so extended. That is rare, but there's no invalidation. There's no scenario that says it's impossible, right? This is not what you're looking at. There's no invalidation on this. Now, what you would be looking for is a pretty strong impulsive move developing in the coming weeks, right? Where your wave 1 maybe is still developing here on the higher time frame, right? Why wave 1? Because as explained on the lower time frame, what we do have here is the possibility of wave 1, wave 2, another wave 1, another wave 2, another wave 1, another wave 2, and now you're developing your third wave, right? As long as you do maintain above this high over here with your 4 5s, right, then this is still an impulsive move that is unfinished, that could be your wave 1 on the 4-hourly time frame. You're still developing an impulse to the upside, which could be the wave 1, right? I mean, this is the explanation of the flat structure, where, I mean, you're still developing your potential wave 1 that would go to higher prices. Then you get your rangy pullback in wave 2, and then 3, 4, 5. This is higher time frame possibilities, right, for this flat. I would seriously say that I think this is low probability that we get a rally to plus 78k, even above $80,000 to form an ABC flat, regardless if it's a running flat which misses out taking out the high, or does actually take out the high on a regular flat. I don't think this is the scenario that's going to happen, but I know it's possible. As it is a scenario that is possible, I'm going to remain in my swing long here, because it's all about understanding the possibilities when you're trading. And this long, I'm more interested in shorts, right? Shorts are very, very attractive, without a doubt. We're in a bear market. This is incredibly aggressive. I want to believe that what is forming here is something corrective. What we're developing here is something corrective, but it's too soon to know. It is too soon to know on the higher time frame if this is going to be a correction, because we're just basically rallying here, and it could be wave 3 environment, right? Just not going to be easy, but I'm going to keep significant of that swing long, because it's going to hedge against my short. I think shorts would be more attractive for the next coming weeks, because I do think that we will claim below 59k, be it end of June or maybe in July. I am very much in favor of coming down sub 59k, so I want to look for shorts if possible on this bounce, and I want to explain how I'm going to look for those swing shorts in this live stream, right? So no rush. There's no rush for me to enter this swing short, but I'm very much interested, and I want to explain in this live stream how I want to approach that. And it's important to have some longs, because it's going to hedge against your short, right? If you get stopped out on a short, perfect, you just collect some profits, right, to cover that loss, and you look for another short entry, right? Having a hedge long position at this point is a gift, right? It's a gift, because you're basically going to have free shorting attempts, right? Literally free shorting attempts till you actually roll over very aggressively and hopefully catch the good short position, right, without getting wrecked if possible. So most importantly, today we need to go through the 15-minute, 1 hour, 15-minute time frame, this structure over here. We are just about to come into a naked point of control, range point of control. That would be from this upside momentum. There's a bit of a consolidation right there, and we do have a point of control which we are still a few $100s from reaching, and yeah, that might be a good reaction level. That might be a good reaction level. Yeah, it's a naked point of control from a session volume profile. Right over there, naked point of control at 66,770. Bit of volume, even the range point of control, right? You got a high volume node, slightly higher. So there is going to start being some volume based on a consolidation where the price could struggle to break through. I would only attempt a reaction on that point of control, if I'm honest with you here, for a short attempt. I would only consider a reaction trade. If you break that point of control, so be it. If you hit that naked point of control, get back below, for me it would be a trigger to get into the short. As the only short attempt that I would enter here, only on the rejection. So yeah, that's the only short if I wanted to catch the Pico top. But I very much understand that you can reject, form a corrective structure here, and take out the high again. You just get stopped out from that short position, because if we only get corrections to the downside, we are literally just going to go higher. When you pump and you form very, very poor ranges, pump, rangy structure, pump, rangy structure, pump, you might reject, but rangy structure, you just continue the momentum. So timing the high here is going to be complex. There's an easy way to get it into a short position, and we just need to break structure and invalidate the this wave 3 potential, right? I'm going to explain that throughout this stream. Okay. Yeah, let's go quickly through the comment section. Much love. Flat. Yeah, guessing 78k ish first, down 70, then take out 85k. Hit those like peoples. Yes, hit the likes, guys, if you do enjoy the content. Where are you looking for a short? The only intraday local scalp entry, as explained, is that naked point of control at 66,767. Only a quick scalp short here. If you break it, I'm not interested, guys. You know, this might be rallying more than we expect. So it's a reactionary trade, so I can manage risk. Okay. For me to get into a solid short, I mean, all of these corrections that are on the formation, all of the rejections that we're getting are proven to be corrective in the end. So yesterday, we didn't get a major solid impulsive move down. I explained yesterday that if we were to overlap this level without getting a major solid impulsive move down, we needed to see follow through. Remember yesterday, guys, right? I said, you know, if this is going to be a wave 1, wave 2, with this leg down, we really want follow through. If you're going to start dancing around with corrections, overlapping the lows right there, this is not going to be looking great for the bears. Because when you have, you know, from this high over here, when you're looking to see an impulsive move to the downside, this was the chance for the bears. We had a possible diagonal here. Okay, there was a leading diagonal potential right there. 3-wave move up, perfect, all nice and good. If this is going to be wave 1, that's going to be wave 2. And while you get this price action, if you do not get follow through, get a bit more downside, $500-$600, and then shallow pullbacks, boom, 4-5, right? Then that's your 3, that's your 4. Okay, guys, we possibly got an impulse here. But if this movement down does not get follow through, and you overlap that pivot, then there is a problem here. There is there's a little bit of a problem for the bears. This is an invalidation for your wave 4 here, literally overlapping this pivot. Overlapping wave 1 with wave 4, 4 with wave 1 is an invalidation when you consider an impulse. So then your next option is a multiple 1-2. If your impulsive move failed to develop, then your next scenario is a double 1-2. 1-2, right? And then, wherever your wave 2 finishes, in this case here, would be shallow, but it's not an invalidation. And then you want the breakdown in a wave 3, then 4-5, 4-5, right? This would have been valid for an impulse. However, as we explained yesterday, if you pay attention, you know where I'm coming from here. If you didn't pay attention, then you can go and follow somebody else with some moving averages. The fact that this movement down was longer than this one, quite longer, I think, 1382, we looked at it yesterday. The fact that we moved down to the 1382 extension from this wave 1, it lowers in probabilities. Usually when you have multiple 1-2s, they get, smaller as they develop, or similar in size. 1-to-1 is fine, but longer than your first wave 1 is low probability. So if this is going to be another wave 1 and this is going to be another wave 2 developing, there is low probability for this scenario. Why? Because your second wave 1 is longer than your first wave 1. So once you get into this, lower high territory, there's no impulse down here. Diagonal could have been an option, but you're having a diagonal inside of a diagonal, and that's when you're looking at multiple scenarios and you get to the over analysis paralysis kind of phase, right? Where you're just trying to figure out, diagonal wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, for a diagonal, and your wave 1 is a diagonal as well, and then it's just you're like messing up stuff. This is low probability, a start of an impulse. It's likely going to be corrective, especially when you get this overlap here from lower highs. That a double 1-2 is low probability because this is longer. The move down is a diagonal, and you've got a diagonal inside one. So it's just very, very messy. You just realize that the probabilities for this to be corrective once you get this overlap in this territory, as explained yesterday, it's just likely going to be a 3-wave correction. So right now, we need to map out the situation. What do we have, right? What do we have with the local price action from this low? And this is what's most important when we do the analysis and try to understand the map, right? Where is this taking us? What development do we have from this low? What chances do we have? And what waves are on the formation from this low is most important right now to understand, this. Do we have multiple 1-2s? Can it be a WXY, double zigzag? I mean, we're still very much, we still have room for this to be corrective, because most common correction zone is the 1-to-1 to the 1-2-3-6 from your possible A wave or your possible W wave. So this is still very much in the correction zone. So let's try and map the situation here to try and figure out, what do we have especially considering this latest pump, which is the one with the highest amount of volume, right, from the last 2 weeks, and the highest projected move in a short period of time that we've had. So it's all about, you know, mapping the situation, right? I would like to label this as, you know, wave 3 in the most bullish case, and if not, your wave C or wave Y, right, in the bearish case, which we're gonna break down right away with fib extensions, confluence, and come up with the ideas and understanding the invalidation of the bullish case, right? Because there's always a market structure change or a weak point for the bulls that if it is broken, then the reversal obviously has high probability, right? There's always a weak point in an uptrend to understand that that's when we want to start flipping bearish, right? Giving the bears the option to already roll over to come and tackle 59k. So that will be explained in detail right now in the next coming minutes. Just wanted to break down quickly the you know, the overall the possibilities, and we'll get into detail right now with Fibonacci, right, and the different waves. Just a quick hello in the comment section. Let me just get a drink of water as we do destroy that like button altogether, and we'll break down a few of the scenarios, okay? Right. Okay. Devil, my man, much love to you. Great analysis, Andy. Just provided some updates in the community. Devil, the legend himself. Yes, I know you provided today some awesome analysis, levels, setups, and scenarios. Shout out to you, by the way, with yesterday's analysis where the price could bounce, right, in this region. Very, very nice to see, you know, that analysis provided from Devult, the man himself, basically looking for that possible bounce on Bitcoin, okay, to happen in this zone. Very, very nice indeed. Right, let's go through the comment section. Shout out to Devult. Much love. SFP right here. By the way, guys, if you want to join the trading community, that's where we do the lower time updates, lower time frame scenarios, where we can look for a trading opportunity. Just join here, the Telegram, okay? This is the command center, right? It's automated. If you wanted to speak to me, you can always speak to me as well, okay? We've got a automated bot here where you can actually ask questions and obviously enter the community very, very easily following the instructions, okay? That's if you are interested in getting into the trading community. That's where we do look for the trading opportunities and levels. Mark Dutch, my man, I know my clogs are sexy. Many people are. I'm still flattered though. I'm celebrating today. Paz Maria. Spain is playing against Cabo Verde. And I think Holland played against Japan, and it was a draw, 2-2. What happened? Mark Dirch, let me know yesterday in the World Cup. What happened with Holland? They played very well, actually. I did watch it. It was actually a pretty nice game. Paz Maria with the members, sending 10 members membership gifts. Shout out to you, Bath. Andy, are you watching the World Cup? Absolutely. I watched Holland and Japan yesterday, and today I'm watching Spain, of course, which is in about 2 hours and 45 minutes. But we need to break down some scenarios on Bitcoin first of all before watching any football. Much love, Mark Dutch, Bath Maria, Devult. Congrats on the bluffing competition, legends. We won. Yes, we did win. I mean, I'm getting a piece of the cake, naturally. We made it. First place here in volume, and I think on P&L we ended up 9 or 10 on the P&L, which is very, very good. I mean, yeah, I'm not sure if we did, yeah, around about, I know we're in the top 20 for sure. We were 10 just a few days ago. We probably got knocked down on the P&L ever so slightly. Remember, there's over 3,000 teams here, and we are basically the whales, right? we definitely are the whales here, because we ended up number 1 here in trading volume. So we did move a significant amount of volume in the trading competition, and whoever participated will be getting a piece of the cake of the prize pool, of course. So which is awesome to see. So yeah, we made it. We did it. The Netherlands suck. Really? Yeah, I've got a couple of good players. Congrats on the bluffing win. Yeah, Japan played so well. A trader, yeah, it was interesting. Japan, they are fast. We won the bluffing competition. Okay, yes, absolutely awesome. Just another one for the book, right? For the history book. Bitcoin just wants to pump and pump, right? Shorting at the moment is not an option right now. It is going to be an option, but we need to see. Yeah, we're kind of breaking already above that. Almost tapped it here. That naked point of control. But it seems like it just wants to rally. So longs are maintained open, right? This is the kind of moment that we might be surprised on a major recovery, right? You know, who knows? If this ends up being a wave 3, this could really pop out significantly here throughout the next coming days. I just realized it's a possibility, as we do know in the last few days. Hence the long guys. We're going to break down the scenarios. There's no rush for a major short unless you want to get into a scalp SFP from this naked point of control, but it looks like we want to break through it. You might get a little reaction here right now. But it seems like it wants to pop. Maybe a little quick scalp attempt. Does it want to reject? It doesn't look like it wants to reject from that level. Yeah, it is currently above that naked point of control. Yeah, it doesn't want to. Doesn't want to. Well, it looks like it wants to pop. Yeah, it's currently trading above the level and needs to get back below. If it gets back below, I would consider a quick scalp entry short with stop loss at the high, but it needs to get up beneath the level here again. As we got above, it needs to get below so I can trigger the short, so this wick becomes my stop loss. And I would, this mini consolidation, it might just form another higher low. But yeah, we need to get below for me to trigger this short. It would only be a little scalp, regardless if it rejects later on, right, with a bigger move. Then let's see if we do get below the level, and it can be a little scalp short entry, protect position. There we go. Oof. Not a major rejection here. Yeah. Yeah, not worth it for me at the moment. I literally got in and got out. Got in and got out. It's not rejecting from that naked point of control. We do have a range point of control. yeah, when I see it's not rejecting, I'd rather get, you know, in and out. I'll pay a bit of fees and that's it. Range point of control of this consolidation that we had between the 2nd and 3rd of June. That might be an attempt right there. What's going on here? There we go. So yeah, currently above that naked point of control. It's breaking. Not interested in shorting. Next level of a possible reaction is this one. So no short here. Did attempt it, got quickly out, paid a bit of fees. Next level would be 67.1, just because it's this little range point of control. Let's take a look at some fib extensions. 1236 is just slightly above that point of control. That's a very, very interesting confluence. It's just $100 away from the point of control. That is the 1.236 extension from this move. That could definitely be a little reaction level to get a pullback. 67.2k basically. We're just $300-400 away from that level, so let's see if we get a little scalp entry short. For the moment, no shorts as we are above that naked point of control. Not interested. I'm only interested in specific levels of confluence. Not worth for me to short, add to the short and stuff like that, guys. That's a full recipe to get absolutely wrecked if the price decides to break up. If you are looking to catch a scalp short at a level of resistance, you need to be a reactionary trader. You're above the level, you're not interested. You tap it, get above, get below, you have a stop loss on the fake out potential. We have to be very, very strong with the execution and the responsibility and the risk management here, because you know, whoever's shorting from yesterday and is underwater at the moment, and whoever's adding to shorts is, you know, has a good chance of getting wrecked if this decides it wants to go to, you know, 70k plus in the coming days, right? Do not counter trend trade, right? The uptrend momentum, unless you're doing it responsibly at specific levels. If you break that specific level, you are not interested, right? I'm just explaining how I'm managing risk and how I maintain my capital. Anyway, I think we're going to break down the Elliott wave scenarios. That's why we are here also. Let's break down the different possibilities of this momentum, right? Despite any local scalp short entry and stuff like that. Not particularly interested. Interested in maintaining the long positions, which is doing very, very well. You know, it's going to be a very good start of the summer. We let people understand that this long position from 61.7, 61.6, I mean, depending on your entry, of course, was a very, very valid swing long attempt, purely based on the A, B, C, or maybe 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, right? You just don't know, but swing longs were attractive throughout last week. Will it be here? Will we take out 59k, right? It's very difficult to catch the ultimate low. And you need a proven motive wave to the upside, regardless if it's a diagonal, you have proof that this could be something bullish in a wave 1 or a wave A. Very hard to catch the low, as very hard to catch the high for a short here, right? It's just very, very hard. Unless you're lucky and you get a rejection of a naked point of control, right? Which might be the scenario. You need to wait for a motive wave to the downside, a possible rejection that can have a 5-wave move, regardless if it's a diagonal or a regular impulse with a strong wave 3. Then the correction range structure becomes your short zone of interest, right? And that's what happened here. We were very vocal about this potentially happening, even though diagonals are not very, very common. And then understanding this 3-wave structure, break of the movement here, break of the impulse, giving a very good chance that this is a 3-waver after this move. And if this is, if this has a chance to take out this high, this is the zone to consider long positions, to take out this high, and then let's ride the momentum to the upside, take some profits, leave some, and this is the main long position that I have on Bitcoin. So I'm actually happy about this. I know I think Beth Maria is also, she likes to be transparent of all her trades that she takes, and that's the main long position that I do have here on Bitcoin, which is doing phenomenal. If we go above 70k, then yeah, I'm gonna have an awesome month, awesome June month here, followed with the gold long position as well. Let me know if anybody got into the gold long, because this is something that we discussed a few days ago. Getting a reaction here at $4,070, which is the point of control. That's a valid SFP long on gold, and yeah, we are currently getting a nice bounce on gold from that exact level that we talked about, and that's also the long position that I am currently in, right? There's only two main trades. I attempted a short, got stopped out, long in gold, long in Bitcoin, a few days ago, and that's basically it, right? That's all you need. You don't need to get into 5 trades a day. You just get into good, heavy, high probability trade setups, and that's what it's all about. This reminds me very, very much. This structure over here reminded me very, very much of this structure. I was talking about this throughout the last few days. When you do get this price action and you minimize it, you can basically see, right? Obviously it's a lower time frame, but this price action is from this, right? But you need to minimize it because it's much smaller. This is the 4-hourly time frame, and when you do go with the bars pattern into the 15-minute, right, 1 hour 15-minute, you can see the similarities right there, right? Where you have the diagonal in this zone, 3-wave structure, and you're coming into support, which was the point of control, and this becomes a very, very, very attractive zone to look for the long position. So yeah, that's what we're getting at the moment. I knew I was going to get into a good long position, because you guys know I missed this movement to the downside. It doesn't matter. A lot of people did get a little bit of hate because we talked about, I'm not expecting a major move down quick to 60k, but it did happen very, very quick. It was an option. It wasn't my preferred option, and I missed out on this move to the downside. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, because in a couple of weeks, I'll miss the short, but I won't miss the long, right? That's going to be my aim goal, right? Regardless if it's going to be from here or if it's going to be from down here, where we do have, this was a very, very strong level of interest at 57, 58k, where we had daily monthly point of control. I was saying, this is the zone that I'm going to be looking for swing longs if we do get down there. However, I realized that this is a strong point with the information that we got. You got a 5-wave move up, correction. We're looking very carefully at this scenario, and that was the main trigger of last week to get into the long position here. If we do get a rally, right, any retracement looks good. Taking out that golden pocket here would be very, very good for that long position. Right, let's break down. Okay, enough talking about that. How am I going to get into the short? How are we going to get into the short? As explained, let's talk about the bullish case scenario. Shall we talk about the bullish case first or the bearish case? Guys, let me know in the comment section. There's no quick short and there's no adding to position kind of trade here for me. It is really, really going to be all based on the move down in an impulse, which we don't know exactly when that's going to happen, because the trend is to the upside for the moment, but we can break down a little bit of how it could develop, right? So let me know, guys, do we cover the bullish case scenario from this low? There's actually a couple of bullish case just because of the noise that we created here. This could be multiple 1-2s. It could be only one wave 1 and 2 with a shallow wave 2 here. There's a way of counting a 5-wave move here. There's a way of counting a 5-wave move, a 5-wave move here. 2, 3. Oh yeah, the diagonal, a sideways correction. There could be a 1-2, 1-2, and yeah, if this is a 1-2, 3 1-2s, then you're looking for 3 and a few 4-5s here. That could really get punchy in the coming days. There's a couple of bullish case scenarios just because of the counts that you can get inside of this zone. Here it's pretty clear. You've got a diagonal and a 3-wave down. That's easy. That's that's a wave 1 and wave 2. But it's this price action that we got in the last few days that's incredibly overlapping, and you can fit in a few bullish counts here for the different projections that you could have to the upside. So there's a couple of bullish case scenarios, and there will be only one main bearish case, which would be a WXY, which we can cover up right now. Let me know in the comment section, what do you prefer first? Do you prefer the bullish case or the bearish case? Let me know in the comment section. Always bearish case first, bearish case. Okay, bearish case. 68 was open. Beth Maria, much love. Mucho amor, Andy. I have to go. I miss any trades today because I'm celebrating and climbing. Absolutely awesome, Beth Maria. Much love to you. We'll see you soon. Bearish case, bearish case, bearish case. Always bearish. I like bullish, but let's be safe here. Bearish to 46k. Lila Tifa, yeah. Bull case, bearish. I want to be bearish. What music is it? I try and Shazam, but you talked too much. You probably can't find it. Devil's brother made me this session for the live stream. So I think he created it. So you're probably not going to find it on Shazam. So yeah, you're going to have to ask Devil on the Telegram. See if he can send you. I can actually send you the session if you want. If you really like it, it's no problem. We have a big bullish divergence, right? I want to be bearish. I also wanted to be bearish, but it's the same. I had the same gut feeling. We're going to go through the bearish case, okay, here with this local move, but as I shared with the bars pattern, I was bearish. I was mainly bearish in this territory, but I understood the long opportunity, right? You just see this as a bear flag, kind of, you know, there was a WXY double zigzag potential in this area. You're breaking down the trend. Oh man, this felt very, very bearish. But I understood the bullish case scenario, such I understood the bullish case scenario here a few days ago. And I was, you know, it doesn't matter if you're bearish, but I can be bearish and get into a long position, right? And that's where you realize if you're a real trader or not, right? You really try and identify bullish and bearish case scenarios, and your head is going to say bearish, your heart is going to say bullish, right? Or vice versa, right? And yeah, I mean, it just seemed very, very bearish down here, but we already got the massive bearishness, right? When you move down so aggressively, right? It's just, this could take a while to get a dead cat bounce. It could take a while to get a massive dead cat bounce before we go to lower prices, if it ends up being a bearish bounce. Still a lot of information needs to be given here to, you know, figure out the waves, the diagonal, the double zigzag, the zigzag down, is it correction? You know, still a lot of information. The opportunity mainly was in this zone, right? Last week, a few shorts with good risk management here was, yeah, but not worth holding a short, right? With a big stop loss or a, you know, adding to position, expecting a reversal, guys, because whoever's doing that kind of practice will find out. If we do get a major pump here, we'll find out and get wrecked. So don't be that guy. Let's cover the scenarios right away, okay? Somebody was saying about bearish case scenario first of all, right? Bearish case scenario, finally getting a little reaction here. We didn't quite reach the point of control. Oh yeah, we did on Bybit. Yeah, getting a reaction at that point of control on Bybit here, ever so slightly. Quick reaction, range point of control on Bybit at 66.7. That's where we're currently getting a little pullback, from that range point of control. Valid for an aggressive entry. I didn't take it. Doesn't matter. I'm too distracted here with the higher time frame. Little aggressive scalp entry on the reaction from that point of control on Bybit. Bybit for me is the best in range point of controls and naked point of controls. It's because on Coinbase we do have the range point of control slightly higher. So yeah, Bybit, future exchanges, high volume future exchanges are much better in range point of controls. Much better for reaction trades. Coinbase one is 67.1k, and on Bybit it's 66.7k. It's already getting that little reaction. It might be a big fat nothing burger, little correction back up, or it might get a larger pullback, but the execution is on the reaction of the point of control. Okay, so scenarios. That we do have. Bearish case scenario, because we have a diagonal here. Let's go with attempting this as a wave A. Let's figure out if there's an ABC potential here. Common target zone for an ABC for a C wave is the 1 to 1 to the 1236. 1 to 1 has been hit. So let's just get this zone as the common target area. We are inside the common target area of an ABC, right? Which is 1 to 1 to the 1, 2, 3, 6. This is a common area for a three-wave structure to finish. Now in the ABC scenario, there would be a problem. This might be countered better as a WXY. And the main problem is having a 5-wave move and a C wave here, right? You need to have from this low a possible 5-wave move. Can we have a finished or coming to the end stages, right, of a 5-wave impulse here? And there is a big problem with all of this. Lots of overlap. This would mean that yeah. I don't see anything possible here because I need to find a solid 5-wave move up. So this would be wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave... Yeah, it's not possible unless you are forming an extended 5th wave. 4, 3, 4, 5. The only possibility that we would have here for a 5-wave move up is wave 1, wave 2, small wave 3, wave 4 right there in a sideways correction, but there's been overlap. Yeah, a C wave here, to have a C wave here, there is a problem with all of this price action. There is a major problem here. We would have to see a little bit of more upside. The reason being is I cannot fit in a solid third wave in this zone. It would have to be all of this being a wave 1, wave 2. You're developing your third wave, and you still need a long sideways correction for your wave 4. I mean, wave 4 needs to be formed somewhere in this territory. So there's a big problem here to find a 5-wave move that could be finished here. I cannot fit in a wave 3 in this zone. Too much overlap. So there's 2 options here for this to be a correction. I would still be expecting a few 4-5s. This would have to be... There's 2 options. There is your... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 diagonal. Yeah, wave 1 here in a diagonal. That would be wave 1, wave 2 sideways WXY, another wave 1 and another wave 2. You're finishing your wave 3, so you need 2 more 4-5s here. And this would be interesting because you do have that kind of gap in this zone. Yeah, this would be like the rejection point. So this is the area where I want to see the 4-5s. If price comes down to sub 64.7, that would be a clear sign of weakness. So yeah, if this is going to be C wave 1, 2, 1, 2, breakout in wave 3. If this is going to be the end of wave 3 locally, you need another 4, a bit of a rangy structure, 5 and another 4 in 5. If we want to count an ABC. This is the one of the only ways. Double 1, 2. Third wave getting developed, high volume. And now you want your sideways correction to happen between today and tomorrow, 4 and 5, 4, 5, and get the choppiness. If you develop this kind of price action, that's when you realize that a reversal is very much likely to happen. And this is the ABC scenario, so I would want to see a couple of 4-5s. We will figure out now if there is a double zigzag. It could be a very nice double zigzag here on the formation that could be topping out as well, which is harder to identify, of course. Double zigzags can be messy, but the ABC, this would be the only way if we want to count this an ABC. You know, your C wave is still in the middle stages based on this being the wave 3 getting developed. And your wave 3 would literally finish here, and then your wave 4, and then wave 5. Because this 1, 2, and this third wave is still part of the third wave. So you need another 4, 5 to finish the third wave, because you need a 5-wave move on your third wave, which is all of this price action from your second 1, 2. So this is it's probably gonna take a couple of days to identify that this could be entering into the 4, 5 waves. You just need to pull back a little range, another high, right? It's the classic price action that just wicks out all of those people that are trying to short, and then gets the reversal once you get 2 4 5s. So there's 2 4 5s missing here because we have 2 1 2s in this particular scenario, right? Which would be A, B, C. I wouldn't expect much higher than the 1 2 3 6 1 3 8 2 in 4 5s, but this is literally what you want to see develop. You got that gap with the candlestick. You don't want to break that zone. It's usually a resistance with these lower highs. So the choppiness could develop here at this 67, 68k territory. I'm very much aware of that based on Fibonacci extension 1236 to the 1382. ABC potential. You got 2 1 2s. You got the big move happening today, which always wants to be classed as a wave 3. And if you have a wave 3, then you're missing your 4 5s, right? Which needs to form that range, high, range, and another high. It's going to be boring, but it's going to be worth the wait. If this is formed in the next couple of days, I will be getting ready to short. Trying to detect the local levels of resistance, the gap, but at least I need one more high after a range. So you need a range, one more high, and another range. Then it's going to be looking interesting for the short on the triple top scenario, right? It's just a matter of patience, really. Will I get this opportunity? I don't know, but I know it can develop like this, right? So that's one option here. One option for the bearish case, which is an ABC, where your C wave has only formed double 1 2 and your third wave is getting developed, which is the current price action that we're getting today. So you need the 4 5s, right, to finish the impulse in the C wave. This is going to take still 1 to 2 days to have something that could be finished, right, or coming to that end stage. So yeah, that's the ABC scenario. We still need 4 5s, 2 4 5s, 4 5 4 5. That weakness, that slightly higher high and slightly higher lows after this big move that we got today is going to be the signal here to start getting ready for a short position. This, as it is going to take maybe 1 to 2 days, will be followed up inside of the trading community if I decide to take this short position. Okay, for the moment, happy in the longs, which is printing, right? The longs that we discussed last week, based on the realization that this is corrective, lightly corrective. Super happy with this long position. It was taken as a potential swing to get at least above 64.2 and maybe even higher, which is the case today. So happy to see that very much. Remember, if you are interested in the trading community, I am more interested in shorts, but if I do take the short, it will be given in the trading community when I do take that short position. When I'm confident and I want to get in heavy, trading community will know about that, okay? Go down to the command center in the Telegram if you are interested in joining the trading community, guys. That's where I'll be sharing my next potential big short position. For the moment, big long, and just happy for the price to go to higher prices. Another way of getting a confirmation here, just out of curiosity here, I'm going to give a possible option. Wave 1, 2. Yeah, not a fan of getting into a wave 3 here. 4 and 5. 1, 2. Yeah, and the double 1, 2 fits in better. I'm trying to figure out if you can have a 3, a 4, and a 5 here. But there's lots of overlap here in this wave 3, so I'm not happy with this scenario. Your wave 2 is very, very shallow. So I'm just trying to figure out if this is a wave 1, wave 2, this is wave 3 getting developed. Yeah, I'm not buying this scenario. And then 4 and 5. I don't like wave 3 here. There's too much overlap if I want to go with that count. So I'm not taking that into consideration. And that would just be looking for another 4, 5. So that's your wave 1. I just don't like wave 3. There's too much overlap from this low. I cannot get a wave 3 here for that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to finish an impulse here from this low. And this is wave 2, which is very, very small. It's just hitting the 0236, and I have a problem with wave 3, so I'm not liking this as a scenario for the bearish case. Just one more 4 and 5. It doesn't fit nicely. Okay, so the double 1, 2 becomes the main scenario here. 3, 4, 5, 2, 4, 5s would have to be the scenario that I need to look for here for the shorts in the coming days. Let's go with the other bearish case. There's another bearish case, which is going to be WXY, which we are going to follow up here. Can we have a zigzag here? Can this be counted as a zigzag? We do know the diagonal. Can this be a zigzag structure? Well, let's go with the internal waves and try and map the situation. Not too hard if you do have experience. You got to move up, down. Can we fit a 3-wave zigzag here for this to be W? Push up. So yeah, let's say if this is wave A, this is wave B. Impulse up, down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That has to be. This is a 3-wave move up from here. So we got the push down. That's a wave. This would have to be wave B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me just double check this. Yeah, this would have to be an expanding diagonal. So you got, yeah, for a zig. If I want to fit a zigzag here, it has to be a B and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave C here. This is the only way I can get a 3-wave structure, which is not very common to see expanding diagonals. That's the only way I can get a 3-wave move up here. This is all coming up with the possibility, guys, of understanding, could we form a high where we are at the moment, right? With the extension, with the double WXY possibilities and target zones. So we can form a 3-way structure from 59k to the local highs at 64.2. This is how it would look. The diagonal is much better rather than an expanding diagonal in wave C. So it's A, B, and C, and your C wave is an expanding diagonal. we can fix that. Naturally, this would be your wave X, 3 wave down in your wave X right there. A, B, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for your C. Okay, so that's easy. This wave for your wave X. And now we need to find an ABC here. Can we have an ABC here? Can we have a 3-wave move here? Well, we do know we have a diagonal here. Right there, which we were discussing in the last few days. So that's a good 5-wave move up for your wave A. We're trying to figure out wave Y now here. Sideways momentum. Sideways WXY here, which we did discuss a few days ago as well. Zigzag down, zigzag up, and a little triangle, mini triangle structure. So this could be a WXY to finish your wave B right there. So A wave, B wave. Now we have the impulse move up from this level in a 5-wave structure. Can we get a 5-wave move up from here? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You can actually fit a WXY double zigzag here to finish where we currently at in this zone where we have the point of control. Yeah, interesting here because you do have the 5-wave move up in a diagonal, sideways, complex WXY, and then a 1, 2, 3. You got a little bit of correction right there. I mean, this was not a bad short if you wanted to get into the point of control. Rejection on Bybit, maybe Binance as well. Actually, not a bad short. Trigger for maybe a reversal. Maybe this does have the chance to be a WXY, and that's it. It's finished. You hit the 1-to-1 above the 1-to-1 extension, so it's ready. It's in the target zone of a double zigzag WXY. 1-to-1 to the 1, 2, 3, 6. You're in the middle at the moment, so it's the common zone of rejection. It has the potential of being the high. This does have the potential of being the high and start correcting down in the coming days. I mean, no, moving down impulsively. Whoever got into that short, very nice. Very nice. I'm thinking about getting into a quick head short here because we do know that if once price wants to reverse strongly, it is going to do it very, very fast, potentially. Double zigzag, WXY, very, very possible. I'm not going to rush into a short right now based on the rejection. If, you know, when we are speculating on a corrective move, as explained, you either catch the exact rejection on the point of control. If you get a pullback here of a few $100s, I'm not going to get into a short here. Just like I didn't get into a short here, or I got into a short here. You know, I want to get in at the highest level possible because then your stop loss is much wider. You need to decrease risk there. So I missed the rejection at the point of control, such as I missed the double bottom down here. Was that an issue for me for the long? No. I got into the long here. Which, you know, the price action gave me the opportunity on the pullback, because if this would have rallied straight away, I wouldn't have been in the long. If this would have V-shaped once we get that push up to 62.5, I wanted to get into the pullback and stop beneath the low. If this would have rallied straight away, I would have said, I'm not in the long, you know, I missed the long. This does have a possibility of being the high based on this count that we're doing right now, WXY double zigzag, and it does actually fit nice with your Y wave because you have the diagonal, you got a sideways WXY and a 1 2 3, you got a stop for wave 4, and then the last push up in a wave 5 hitting a resistance zone. It's a valid count for this to be the high. So if you did not short the Pico top, which is very complex, I didn't short it. I missed it. If we roll down from here, so be it. I need to join later on in the coming days. Just like I missed the double bottom here at 60.7k. We were talking about this long throughout last week. Double bottom, guys, here is good. We're hitting the point of control. I didn't long it. So I missed it. So I need a sign of strength and a pullback to get into that long, realizing that now it's looking good to claim 64.2k high. So what I would need here right now, instead of foaming short, feeling that I'm going to be left out, no, there is a bullish case scenario that we're going to follow up now in the next coming minutes, which just takes us to higher prices naturally, right? So what we need to see here for me to join a short is a solid impulsive move down, and it would have to be easily a $2,000 move, sign of weakness. I couldn't care less. I'm not going to FOMO short here because I missed the rejection on the point of control, and realizing this could be the end of a double zigzag with a finishing here your C wave 1 2 3 4 5. I'm not going to FOMO short. I missed the rejection. It's only $400 above us. So I need to, if we were to reject down, what do I need to see to rejoin that short? And this is super important because people, I can guarantee you that thousands of people shorted late on this SFP that we got from this high. 64.2 SFP, you miss the entry to manage risk, stop loss at the high, you move down, collect a bit of profit, stop loss at entry. People shorting here late, down here. People wanting to short because we took out the high, stopped out. Then we had the SFP from the range high here, this lower high that we talked about as well, right, at 64.6k. I missed that short. I didn't get in. I can tell you already that lots of people, attempted to short in this zone, thinking that, okay, we got the high again, this high. I missed it. I didn't short down here. I need weakness in an impulse, and then the correction, I might join the short if I can, right? So that's what I need to see here currently. I missed the high. I'm not getting into the short on a little pullback. This can be corrective and take out the high in the coming hours based on the bullish case. This might be just a little correction, and then bang, we go to above 67k in the coming hours. So it's super important to see the weakness first, right? Price will give you an opportunity at some point. Don't feel pressured that you need to trade every day. No FOMO short here. If you didn't catch the Pico top at the range point of control rejection, it's not worth after a $500 dump to get into the short, stop loss at the high. Price will wick you out as we are uptrending, right? It has a chance to get you out. We're uptrending. So we need to see a pretty solid move down, and I would easily say that the move down, as long as the move down gets to the golden pocket from this low to this high, overlapping this high over here, you're invalidating wave 4s and 5s for the bullish case. So an impulse down from here down to 64.8. Pay attention here, guys, because this is the absolute key to understand the weakness. You get, regardless if it's here or creating one more high, it doesn't matter. Getting a pretty strong rejection in the next 1 to 2 days down to the golden pocket, if we do not manage to get more upside momentum in the coming hours between today and tomorrow, if we reject from here, get down to the golden pocket from the latest pump with the highest amount of volume, the most aggressive move, you're invalidating the continuation in 4/5s of the impulse. Just like here, it's the same thing, but to the downside. We got to the golden pocket here, and this was the trigger on the pullback for me to get into the long. If you rally down from your strongest move, if you move down, of course, from the rally that you have in a wave 3 here, this is sign of weakness. Golden pocket to 64.8k, right? If you come down to this zone, the bulls have a very big problem. You're invalidating wave 4, you're invalidating continuation to the upsides to finish an impulse from this move up. So that's a sign of weakness for the bulls, sign of strength for the bears. If you move down here to 64.8k, we need to look at the wave. We need to, figure out if we do have an impulse down or a diagonal. We just don't never know. There's lots of diagonals being formed lately, so it might be a diagonal down in a 5-wave structure down to the golden pocket. But that would be a very, very good sign that you could have a finished move up here, which is this WXY. Excuse the mess here, guys, but yeah, literally WXY here. Potential, right? So impulse down to golden pocket is crucial to have weakness, and then much more downside later, throughout the next coming weeks is very much a good possibility if we were to roll down in the next coming hours between today and tomorrow in an impulse here. And the main question here is why, right? You're invalidating the bullish case, which we're going to follow up right now. So for me to get into a short, I would attempt a double top maybe if we get back up here, but not shorting here where we are at the moment. I would rather miss the short. The local move down, impulse down, 5-wave structure. I realize that the weakness is real, and that the probabilities after this move down in a 5-wave structure to that 64.8, which is the golden pocket, is invalidating wave 4s, and this could be a finished move up in a 3-wave WXY double zigzag. So naturally a 5-wave move down coming to the golden pocket would likely be a wave 1 or a wave A. I would say wave 1, as we are in bear market, right? We could be, we're looking to head south of sub 59k. So wave 1 needs to be developed so I can get into potential wave 2. Wave 2 is going to be the range bounce that is formed after the impulse to detect that it's highly likely corrective. And if I need to get into a short where my stop loss is at the highs, the projection is going to be awesome anyway. It doesn't matter. I will calculate my risk based on sign of weakness. I'm not catching the high. It's okay. Doesn't matter. I didn't catch the low here. It doesn't matter. I was very close to the low, but I longed here, right? I didn't long the lows. So if I don't short the highs, the exact high, which is difficult, I will only enter on the rejection of a point of control. If you move down $500, I missed it. I need to wait patiently for the sign of weakness, because this is the problem right now. You think, well, if we're going to roll down, oh, I missed the rejection. Oh, I'm sure this is the high. I'm sure it's not going to break this point of control. I'm just going to enter right now. I'll put a stop loss above the high. I might add to position. I don't know. You're asking to get stopped out. We're still very strongly uptrending, right, in the last few days. So you're risking here to catch the high. You need to catch the exact high rejection if you want a good, safe, good risk management setup. You entering late, you're just exposing to lose capital here. So this would be the plan for me for a short. This has a chance of being the high. If I don't have a crystal ball. I just realized that it can be the high. What needs to follow next so I can be confident in my short? Impulse down. Roll down, impulse, hit the golden pocket, 64.8. This is invalidating the bullish case in multiple 4-5s after this being a wave 3. Move down here, any range, I'll be happy to short wherever it is. You know, once we get a little bit of rangy price action, I'll be like, this is going to roll down. At some point, I'm entering. Give a bit of room for stop loss. This is still a 4-to-1 risk reward, right? It's going to take, obviously, maybe 1 to 2 weeks to develop. So swing short will come later. Only if I want to catch the high here, I will only give a chance for a double top. If we break the highs, then I'm looking for 4-5s. Not in a rush. Okay, so this is what I need for the shorts. Literally. Either a local double top. I missed the point of control, so only option to catch the high is double top, or impulse down, sign of weakness, hitting the golden pocket at 64.8. Rangy correction, which will follow after the impulse, be it shallow or be it steep, I don't know. We'll figure this out. But then where I want to be in is the wave 3, 4, and 5. I'm interested in being in the 3, 4, 5s. Same as the long a few days ago. A few days ago, I'm interested in getting into this long because I can maybe get in the wave 3s and 4s and 5s, right? Which is literally, you know, this current price action right now, we could be developing wave 3 and we just don't know it. If you have a possible wave 1 and a possible wave 2, I want to get into the wave 2 because I want to take advantage of the possible wave 3. I mean, there could be the wave 3, 4, 5, or it could be multiple 1-2s and then bang, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. It's more aggressive than we thought. That's where I want to enter. So we need that wave 1 at some stage, right? We need the weakness. We need the break of this momentum to identify that the highs could be very likely be in. If the high is very likely in, I will only realize when we have that impulse down into the golden pocket, in this case, to invalidate the 4-5s that could be on the formation. Then this bounce, it doesn't matter. It's good, you know, I would even be happy to enter the 382 once we get a bit of choppy range, because once the breakdown happens, you might form another 1-2, right? And then the 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. I want to be in the wave 2s so I can take advantage of the wave 3. So that's the only way that I can get into a high probability reversal at this point, because all of this is speculative, right? That this could be the end of a WXY double zigzag. It has a chance, but we still got uptrend momentum. We still got the bullish case that we want to cover. So yeah, that's basically it here, guys. We need a strong move down from this point in an impulse to get to 64.8k, which would be invalidating the 4-5 potentials here that could develop in the next couple of days. And then it doesn't matter, you know, the pullback can be shallow, it can be whatever. We are interested in the 3, 4, 5, right? We're interested in the nuke down. For the moment, we don't have that weakness, so speculating on the Pico top here is very, very challenging. Managed risk, this is the same as we discussed a few weeks ago, guys. If you're attempting any long positions in this zone, you know, you need to be super professional. If you break a level, don't even consider. You're not getting an impulse to the upside. They're all corrective structures, and you're just getting continuation to the downside. Correction, downside, correction, downside. This could be the same scenario here. You might be forming shallow corrections, boom, shallow corrections, bang, right? And your 4-5s are getting developed here, and you're trying to time the top, and you're getting wrecked because you're not getting in where you need to get in. You're breaking resistance. You're adding to the short. You know, don't trade like that, guys. I got a few DMs a couple of weeks ago based on this move, and people frustrated and losing a significant amount of capital because their liquidation price was all the way down here. I mean, guys, come on, be responsible with your trading. And obviously my DMs are open, so it's natural that I get a few DMs of people that are frustrated of this move down and trying to long it. Somebody said they had a liquidation price somewhere at 63k or something like that, and they had a long from I don't know if it was 74 or something like that. And myself and Devil suggested that you want to get out because we're rolling down pretty aggressively, right? This might be wave 3 development, or you're breaking the levels. There's no sign of strength, and I think that guy got liquidated in the end. What? It's good to get liquidated and lose capital, guys, because you realize what you don't need to do. The best way of learning is making big mistakes. You do big mistakes, and you know what you don't need to do in the next trading setup. So let's talk about the bullish case. Bearish case has been bearish options have been explained. One of the bearish options is that ABC still possible here, but we would still need to see a couple of 4-5s, which could take easily 1 to 2 days here, easily. Bit of choppiness into the gap. It could be very, very, very interesting to try time the high, but you want the choppiness, right? You got that gap in this zone, big volume candle gap right there. That's when you get the choppiness. And gaps usually provide resistance unless you break it, right? So getting choppiness here in 4-5s for this ABC potential. If we create this kind of price action between today and tomorrow, it will be looking interesting based on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? You're generally just looking at a 5 waver here. So bearish options have been covered. There is a chance of peaking out in this zone, either in the WXY or the ABC, which would require a couple of range 4-5s and then down. There is a chance of peaking out here at 67, 68k zone. It does require a little bit more patience. And let's cover the bullish case scenario, right? Bearish options have been covered. I know it can be confusing, guys, but this is trading, right? It's mapping out the situation. The easiest way to get into a short trade is first getting the impulse, first getting the motive wave, first get the 5 wave move up, be it diagonal, whatever, and then the correction, and identifying with the next movements that this could be a correction here. So it would be the same scenario, right? Get the impulse down and identify that this is a corrective bounce. And that's it. Wave 1, wave 2, guys, off we go. We're likely going to break down in wave 3. Or double 1, 2, and then 3, right? But we need that weakness from this uptrend. Trying to get into the Pico top can be expensive if you do not know how to handle the situation. Whoever's in long positions here from the last few days, and is adding to shorts. I got Distance Music saying that she's short right now. I hope you have a plan. I hope you manage risk, because then, people end up losing money, and then they ask their question, why, right? Why? The charts are bearish. It's understanding the waves, understanding the possibilities, the weakness. This is not for everybody. It's only for the people that follow the rules and then risk management. Then you end up making significant gains. Andy, don't miss the double top. Yeah. I'm not too fussy about missing the first leg down, guys. Okay, I'm not too fussy about it because market will likely give me an opportunity to short down sub 59k. Okay, and I think I will go more aggressive on the pullbacks, because one of the main reasons I missed this short is because the pullbacks were hitting the 236 Fibonacci retracement, not even the 382. I would have been happy here to short somewhere in this range on this, you know, if we were to detect a corrective structure. But I mean, give it a little bit more of a pullback. This pullback was so shallow. I was like, yeah, I want to wait a little bit more, and I missed the move down. You know, it is what it is. It doesn't matter. Despite being bearish on the higher time frame. So yeah, you know, you got the bounce here, move down. If this bounce would have been a bit more, you know, hitting the 382 at a bare minimum, or, you know, 50% even better, and then it's overlap and very flaggy, and I would say, guys, you know what, you know, this, you know, looking for a short, we got a major pullback. This is proven corrective, but the pullback was so shallow, and this is why I would, because we are in bear market for the moment, right? We're not going to get too excited here that the bear market low is in for the moment. Who knows, it might be, but I wouldn't get too excited just yet. But when we do get that sign of weakness, be it a diagonal, be it a impulse, be it whatever, in a motive wave, I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive on the pullback. I'm just going to lower my percentage risk, because we do get shallow pullbacks after an impulse. There is shallow, you know, and then you get a very, very small pullback to the 0236, maybe 0382 Fibonacci. And then you absolutely tank very, very fast, right? I will be a little bit more aggressive. I'll just realize that because my stop loss will be wider at the highs, I just need to play with my my percentage risk here. This will still be 1%, 1 to 2% max. The reward, you know, is still attractive naturally. Instead of trying to catch, right? I always try and want to catch an awesome trade that would give me a great risk to reward, such as this one here. Smaller stop loss, right? Better risk to reward for the upside potential. And when stop losses are wider, yeah, it's easier. It's a bit more chilled. But I you know, I really like to get really, really good trade setups with stop losses that are tight, just to expand my risk reward. But you know, next time for the short, I'm not going to be too fussy about it. You know, I'm not going to be like analyzing the exact wave count to try and get into the best entry, because that's, you know, I realize my mistakes as well. I did not short these bounces because they were very, very shallow. In this case, this would have been a good short. I mean, I realized that this was a good short based on the 4-5 potential, or finishing a wave 5, and this is another wave 2, 1, 2 potential, right? Realizing that an impulse could have finished here. This was a very, very interesting zone for a short that I regret not taking. But here I couldn't have gotten into a short. The bounce was too shallow. So I won't be too fussy about the bounce if I do get an impulse down from here, invalidating the 4-5s, because I realize that this could be the end of the 3-wave structure if you get an impulse down from here. So it will be a very, very valid short trade once we finish the 5th wave. Any shallow rangy pullback will be an option for me to short, and stop loss at the highs, of course, of the impulse, and keep it simple. The risk to reward is still going to be very, very good. So I won't be very fussy, because I realize by being too fussy about the correction hitting 50% golden pocket, get a bit more of a bounce, waiting and waiting, I obviously can bring you to miss a major move down. So I realized that I'll just lower risk on the percentage here, and I won't be too fussy if it hits 50% or golden pocket to get a better entry. It's just I'll lower risk on the short, and that's it. Right? So we learn from our mistakes. I still make mistakes by trading execution. I still do over analysis, get paralysis sometimes, just because I want to be a very, look for the perfect opportunity, right? The highest probability, and sometimes I miss a lot of trades, right? It does happen, but I'm not gonna be that fussy. I'm just gonna on the next short. Okay, let's cover the bullish case scenario. I don't want to change too much my aggressiveness in trading, because the way I trade, I'm very, very happy. I missed the move down. Got a little quick scalp long that was on a Friday, 2 Fridays ago, and then I didn't short anywhere in this zone, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember getting into any short here. Missed this longed here, got into a tiny short in this range, which got stopped out. And that was basically the trades of the last 2 weeks. And this is the one that is printing. This one was a nice little quick long, right? We did that on the stream. Quick scalp long from the lows of the range. Bounced $1,000. It was just an aggressive, high leverage scalp. And yeah, no short attempts in the last couple of days. Happy with the long, and then this is the one that's paying, right? You only need, well, it depends on how much capital. I do understand people that have $500 accounts or $1,000 account. They need to really look for consistent trades, scalping, right, to try and make so good profits. But when you have bigger accounts, you just need 2 trades a month, even 1 trade, to make a solid good month in trading. But that, I understand that not many people have a big capital to trade with, and a lot of people trade with $1,000, $2,000, and they're trying to scale, and they over trade, and they just try and get in, and a lot of the times you end up losing more. The more you trade, the more exposed you are in losing, right? So you need to be very, very good with the probability setup. So, and for me, it was this one here. This was a very, very good solid long. Let's go right away through the bullish case scenario. Let's do a quick comment section and say hello, guys. Remember, I'm no short at the moment, but I will be looking for a short, and I will be letting the community know if I do get into a big swing short, which I will be confident as big as this long position that I do have on Bitcoin at the moment, which is doing incredibly well. I've already taken around about 50% of the profits and looking for my next big short, but I realize that I'm in no rush for a short at the moment. But we'll be looking for a short. If you are interested in the trading community, where we provide the analysis, the levels, the setups, myself, Devilt, education, that's where I'm going to be letting the people know my next big short trade. Send me, okay, message here in the Telegram. This is actually the command center, okay, so you'll be you'll be shared with the different information, of course, to join the trading community. Basically, by signing up on Bluffin, Velto, Weeks, 2bit, you will be getting a few months for free with a minimum deposit, guys, okay, that you do create for your own trading. Now, very bullish. I did a poll yesterday, and I did ask the people, how are you feeling for the next coming days? It was over 60% of people that were bearish, 40% bullish. I will ask the same question today. How are you feeling for the coming days? Let me know. Bullish or bearish? There was 62% bearish, I think, yesterday, 38% bullish. Get your votes in, guys. It's nice to see. If there's more people bearish, then I'll probably add to the longs. Only joking. Andy, my long is printing. I want to set my TP, but where? They told me to the moon. Where moon? Andy and Devil, you need to get your heads together and write a book. Practical Elliott Wave. If you guys could get down on paper what you present on screen here, it would be an unreal. I would buy. Yeah, we need to get together with Devil and talk about that. Might be a good thing to do. Yeah, even if it's an ebook. Even if it's an ebook, right, for the community. Distance Music. Thanks, Andy. Take care. Much love to you. We're still going to be rolling on the stream here. We need a bullish case scenario that we need to talk about. We need to come up with the bullish scenario that takes us to higher prices. Bearish is still very speculative. WXY, which you have an expanding diagonal here in your W. Very, very ugly. When there's expanding diagonals, I don't like to give it the highest probability because they are rare. But it's valid. It's not an invalidation. So, and then the ABC scenario, right, where you have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. You need 4, 5, 4, 5 in this case. So you need a bit of choppiness in the coming days. Then might be very interesting for the short. Timing the short right now it can be expensive, guys. Let's trade responsibly. If you break that point of control, there's only the point of control on Coinbase, which I would attempt if I'm in front of the screen. I'm not too fussy of catching the top, really. You need to be very focused on, on the phone. If you get the alert, right, you set the alert on TradingView and wait for the alert if you do hit the level. If not, you need to wait for the breakdown in the 5-way structure and just join the short later. It's simple, but that's how it needs to be done. But as humans, we are emotional. We want to get in now. I want to make money now. I want to get into the trade now. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. Ebook is a great idea. Yeah, I'll get together with Devilt and see what. Yeah, Koons is a master in Elliott Wave theory. Koon is really, really a master. He does only Elliott Wave theory, mainly. I do mostly Elliott Wave theory. He's really, really good. Right, let's cover the bullish case. But first of all, let's smash up the like button, guys. We're doing a chilled. I'm gonna keep the stream here. I'm chilled. We're good. We're gonna go through the comment section, and we'll break down the bullish case, which is going to higher prices. I haven't checked CVD, but CVD, as we're probably forming local bullish CVD divergence. This is why we're getting the momentum to continue to the upside. Local bullish CVDs have been happening throughout today. Lower lows, higher lows, more lower lows right now on Bybit. So yeah, we are forming bullish CVDs here. Lower lows on CVD, higher highs on CVD. That doesn't really matter. Yeah, we're still very far away from these highs. There's a bit of bearish CVD on higher time frame, but if we do form local bullish CVDs, local CVDs are the ones that rule. And there are some cheeky Bybit shorters here trying to short the Pico top, which is just forming these corrections and going higher. Guys, remember that on mindpillar.com you do have CVD, you have liquidity map on the CVD, You have all of these different tools for free. Okay, all-time high drawdown, liquidity heat map. We are building liquidity to the downside. All of these tools that you have, you've got the economic calendar, and we are building much more on the website. We'll be bringing in order flow footprint, right, where we can actually see the volume in each candlestick very, very soon here at mindpillar.com, all in one. We want to make this a powerhouse with tools and indicators that people want to use for their trading, guys. Remember that you can use this for free currently down here, mindpillar.com. Valuable free tools just for you. All right, let me take a drink of water, stretch my legs, and we'll talk about the bullish case. We'll go through comment section first, and then let's map out the situation with the bullish case scenario from this low. Okay, a couple of options on the bullish case. We'll break that down now in the next coming minutes as you guys smash up the like button. Long stream, why not? Why not? Spain's not playing till 1 hour and 30 minutes, so we got easily another 30 minutes for me here on the stream, and we'll break down bullish case and do a little bit of a Q&A session. Andy, you guys are ripping it up. Good work. Rich, much love to you. The Joe Rogan, buy alts if we melt down and hold and pray. Right. I'll be back in a second. Hi. VSVP. Who's a better trader, Andy? One, a trader that generates good ideas but sucks at risk management, or two, a trader that is good with risk management but bad at generating good ideas. Whew. I'm not the best TA guy. I'm not the best technical analyst out there. And, you know, I will talk about favorite scenarios, bullish, bearish, levels, what I need to see. But I am very good with risk management. I learned the hard way, and I'm just very, very good with risk management. So I'm not the best at TA. I'm okay, right? Let's say that I'm okay. I'm okay with TA, but I'm better at risk management and trade execution. So, that's a tricky question. I would say risk management. Yeah, second option. Risk management, but bad at generating good ideas, right? Good ideas out of good technical analysis. Risk management, if you're, you know, Jesse Livermore was an awesome technical analyst, and he got many projections and analysis right, but he was broke. So he actually was bad at risk management, and he was one of the best technical analysts, Jesse Livermore. But he had an issue with risk management. So yeah, risk management is the winner, says Mark Dutch. Yeah, I would say so, right? Check out the story of Jesse Livermore. I'm not going to go too much into detail of what happened to this guy, but didn't end up well. And he was very good at technical analysis. Very, very good. Got many, many projections and predictions right. But he was broke. He ended up broke. So he had a problem with risk management. Jesse Livermore, you can follow up his story anywhere. And that's a very, very good example. Coins is really good at Elite Wave, but does not focus so much on trading education. You get that here. Yeah, Pedro, thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, Coons is awesome. I've checked out Coons a lot in the past. He's a very, very good. He talks about bullish and bearish case scenario. I've actually learned a few little tips on Elite Wave theory because of him. because he's fully focused on Elliott wave theory and is very good. Yeah, I would say Kuhn is a very good channel to follow for sure. Out of the hundreds of trading channels that are out there, Kuhn's is a good one. Shout out to him. Agreed. Need the levels plus risk management, I think. Yes, sir. Okay, bullish case. Oh, right. It's all about mapping this situation. I don't have anything ready here, so we like to freestyle it. So this is something good to do, not just bring it on the chart and say this is what there is. We like to build up the situation. So on the bullish case, we naturally want to see this as a leading diagonal wave 1. And with this being leading diagonal wave 1, we'll put this slightly bigger. Boom, boom, boom. Right, like this. Boom. Leading diagonal. We've got the 5 wave right there. Everything ticks. We understood this a couple of weeks ago when we were forming it, right? What bullish options do we have? We have this as a wave 1 or wave A, right? Let's go with the bullish case scenario. If this is a wave 1, we naturally understood this correction once we got this leg to the upside, hence the long position here. Double bottoms were optional. We understand that catching the bottom is hard, guys, just like catching the top. If this reverses from here, I'm not in the short. I will miss the top. So understanding that this was, I like this as an ABC. C wave for 5 wave move down. It just fits nice. Move up, A, B, and then 1, 2, or a 1 sideways, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fits nice for an ABC. So that can be one wave 2. Right, let's go step by step here and build up the Elliott wave scenario. Now it's where it becomes interesting. Now there's just a little bit of too much noise. It's too much noise here. Same as whoops. Multiple 1-2s. I just don't want to fit so many 1-2s here. I don't want to have 4 1-2s, even though, yeah, this latest one would be longer. I preferably want to have something finished at one of these highs and build up lower, less 1-2s. It just doesn't make sense here to have 4 1-2s because this one's quite longer in time compared to this one. So preferably we don't take this into consideration at the moment. The only thing is that we would have 4 4-5s here, which can be can be disturbing, of course, in the next coming days. But I just wouldn't say that this has high probability because of this latest 1-2 is quite longer than your previous ones. But this would just develop as so. Would just be an uptrending, grinding structure for a few days here, like boom, 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 boom. And then we would say, okay, guys, then we will consider this. I'm just not. There's other scenarios that would have higher probability because this latest 1-2 is longer in time, and it's just not. It's not great in multiple 1-2s. It would just bring a few more 4-5s in the coming days, which would just be choppy, and people that are trying to short here is just gonna get frustrated in trying to short this entire uptrend. Okay, so there's no rush really in shorts and timing the high here, guys. We will figure out something that brings sign of weakness or this choppiness in a few days. Then an impulse down in the first leg on the 5-minute, and then a choppy bounce here. Then this could be the short, right? It's let the uptrend develop, let it do what it needs to do. Get exhausted, get the first leg down in an impulse, let it do what it needs to do. Let it go up, let it go up, right? We're in longs, so no shorts. I would prefer it going up. No rush in shorting. So I'm not giving that priority. Multiple 1-2s here because of this latest 1-2 is actually pretty long. So if we were to form this kind of price action in the coming days, then I would say, you know what, this probably is 4 1-2s because we're getting 4 4-5s here. And then we can consider really paying attention for the short, because there will be a moment that you do get that impulse down here and a choppy bounce, breaking the local structure. And then, then we can maybe get into the short on the wave 2 in the bearish case, and stop loss at the high, and just, give a possibility of the projection over the impulse down here in your wave 2 locally. There's going to be time for this. Going to be time. So that's one very... Oh, sorry. Yeah, my bad. What am I doing? This would be wave 3. Still developing. So if we end up forming that multiple 4-5s to the upside, this would be the wave 3. So yeah, I mean, a short will be possibly interesting, because it could still be an ABC. It could still be an ABC. But if it is going to be if all of this is going to be a wave 3, then what you will get is the wave 4 here, and then another push up in a wave 5. Right? This would be the idea of the most bullish case scenario. So yeah, we maybe could get into a short here. It just depends if you're going to form an impulse down, but it might overlap, and then it's like, oh guys, this looks bullish. It looks like a corrective structure in your higher time frame wave 4, and we'll just have to monitor the price action as we go. But shorts are going to be later, right? Shorts are going to be in this zone unless you are, we're hitting a resistance on a wave 4-5. It's going to be hard to detect the exact high here. Preferably you break the local structure in an impulse, and then shorts would be in the rangy bounce. So this is a bullish case. It's an impulse still developing. Wave 3 is still not finished. You only forming your wave 3 inside of your wave 3, because you have multiple 1-2s. You're forming your third wave. You're forming multiple 4-5s in the coming days, which is still finishing your higher time frame wave 3. So yeah, an upside momentum could still very much be real in the coming days. Okay, so that's the most bullish scenario, still forming 4-5s to 68, 69, even 70k. Your other one, this doesn't change. This is the same. What changes is what we have here. This is the same. There's no other count. You got your 1 and your 2. That's it. What changes the scenarios is all of this overlap that you have here for the projection, which is confusing, but I mean, for the moment it's bullish structure, so you could be expecting higher naturally. So there is another way of counting. Instead of getting multiple 1-2s here, is a finished 5-wave move, which would be diagonal. I have a little bit of an issue with this diagonal here. Main reason why, because after a diagonal, contracting diagonal, it is common to form a zigzag to the golden pocket or the 7/8 Fibonacci. It is a common to get a steep pullback after a diagonal. So the problem with this diagonal over here, this leading diagonal, is that we did not get a zigzag down to the golden pocket for a wave 2, which is usually what's more common, right? Just as we got here, this pullback came down to the golden pocket 7/8 zone. This one didn't, and that's something that I do not like very much. So it's a sideways WXY, which is, we ain't going to go in detail, but you've got a zigzag up and a triangle, little triangle here, or a sideways WXY basically, finishing your wave 2 here, which is not very common to get a sideways WXY after a contracting leading diagonal. So the next wave 1 and 2, yeah, we'll give it a valid option. There's no invalidation for this. It's just rare to get a sideways correction after a diagonal. It's just rare. It's not very common, so we don't give it the highest probability, but it is possible. And if it's possible, then we take it into consideration. So then this would be the next wave 1 and 2. If you finish a 1-2 here, then what's this? Well, it just has to be another 1-2. There's no other option. So if you've got another 1-2 here, you're developing your wave 3 at this moment. And this is why explaining the bearish case throughout the stream today, if in this scenario where you have multiple 1-2s, regardless if it's these 1-2s or this 1-2, if this is going to be your wave 3, currently the strongest move up with high volume, if this pulls back to the golden pocket, that's it. You know, that you'll likely have something finished at the high if we move down here, which brings the bearish options that we talked about. WXY, not an ABC, because we would be looking for 4-5s here. It would be a WXY basically. So getting a move down here is going to invalidate the bullish case to 64.8 in an impulse. You're gonna, you know, it looks very attractive to look for shorts if we get this leg down in an impulse to 64.8. So we don't want to see that here currently in the bullish scenario. You want to see shallow, rangy pullbacks, maximum to the 236,382 Fibonacci zone, which is in this territory. You don't want to see pullbacks getting much deeper. So wave 4s are common to be lengthy, right? So what we would see in a pullback here maybe is move down, boom, boom, move up, move down, and it might be a little bit long, still in the 382 50%, and then boom, push up, right? So if this is going to be wave 3, that's your wave 4, that's your wave 5, and because you got 2-1-2 potentials here, if you're going to be rangy and long and shallow as a pullback, then this is what we would be looking at. If this turns out flaggy, then we're looking for a 5. If you get another, you know, move down flaggy, you're still maintaining a higher low here, then, you know, that's the 4-5 situation. Why 2 more 4-5s? Because in this case we're looking at 1-2, 1-2, 3. You want 4-5, 4-5. In this scenario, it's the same thing as the previous bullish one. You just have more 4-5s. In this one, you have only 2 4-5s, and this would to be finishing wave 3. Wave 3 needs to be developed by a 5-wave move up. Inside of wave 3, you are going to get a 5-wave move to the upside. That's why you have double 1-2s. So in this case, you have 1-2, 1-2, 3, 4-5, 4-5 to finish your higher time frame wave 3, to have your wave 3 developed right over here. Naturally, you would get a longer pullback for the wave 4 that ends up being like a very, very long downtrend flaggy structure, just to get, you know, your push up here in the last impulse to finish your wave 5, right? So yeah, this is gonna be tricky. It's gonna take some time, but it's literally just continuing the uptrend momentum to finally finish an impulse on the higher time frame. We're just currently in the middle stages of wave 3. And that's just really understanding the first, you know, this leg up. You know, understanding this leg up, you realize that the amount of waves that you could still form to the upside here, just because of this. The fact that this is confusing and there's lots of overlap, it gives you the option of multiple 1-2s. So it's important really for a short right now. You just got so many different bullish options that you need a breakdown. You need a move down, because timing the top here is going to be complex. It's going to be difficult. people are just going to be adding to the position and stuff like that, doing irresponsible trading. If you catch it, congratulations, but it's not the way, because you can get burnt. Then people ask questions, right? Then I didn't manage risk. I shorted irresponsibly, adding to the position, thinking that we're going to roll over and that this was a correction. The best way really at this point, based on the information that we have, giving us so many options to the upside, is wait for the bullish invalidation, break down to the golden pocket locally from the latest move. That is your strength for the bears. There's no more to it. You get that move down, and that is a clear sign of weakness for the bulls. You're invalidating 4/5s. You probably have something finished here with high probability. If that is the case, then this range is going to be looking incredibly interesting for shorts. If you get that leg down, wherever that range happens, right? It might be lower, it might be, I don't know where it's going to be, but you need that first leg down to get below 64.8k from current price action. It's not going to be valid once you form this, a few higher highs, because then we could come down, but that's your wave 4 on the higher time frame. So it needs to happen now in the next coming hours to get that leg down, to confirm that we got something bearish, something that could start the bearishness for the next 1 to 2 weeks to get to sub 59k. For the moment, we don't have that. So those are the two main bullish options. Is there another way that I can figure out? I don't like. This has to be some kind of multiple 1-2s or multiple 1-2s here, because I'm trying to figure out if we have something finished from this low to this high, and this is the correction. I don't see that. I don't see it here. Problem is your wave 3. Too much overlap, too much noise. So it's either multiple 1-2s or it's a 1-2, 1-2. I don't see this being a 1 and a 2 right there. Because of wave 3, there's a problem with wave 3 here. So that doesn't work. So that's basically the bullish scenarios. It would just be more upside in 4/5s and a longer rangy pullback for your longer wave 4, right? As explained, you need a few more 4/5s here in this zone, then the larger 4th wave, and then the 5th wave up to form that impulse. 1, 2, 3, still developing 3rd, then it comes a longer 4th wave, and then the 5th wave to finish an impulsive move to the upside. So those are the bullish options. Just looking for a little bit more upside in 4/5s. That is basically it on the bullish scenario. Very difficult for shorts at the moment, guys. I will highly likely miss the high for the short. If we reject from here or we reject from higher with a big move, there's a very good chance that I will miss catching the high, and I will have to look for joining the short later on, which is okay because the projection will be pretty clear. It will be to look for sub 59k. So I'm not catching the highs at this point. Understanding how many bullish options we have, it would have to be later on once we get a clear move down in an impulse. Then the range needs to be the one that I need a short, which is still fine. We're downtrending. We just need to have a confirmation that we have something finished in a 3-way structure here, and that's the only way to understand that you have a finished 3-wave move up is getting that strong leg down first of all. Okay, so that's basically it. Let's go through the comment section. Much love to everybody. Let's go. Andy, will you consider getting into a short if we have a double top? Yeah, double top. Why not? We are at resistance. We did reject at resistance on Bybit. We do have the point of control on Coinbase, which is at 67.1. A double top here could be interesting. Double tops are great because, you know, the way you can get into the trade is extremely simple. Your stop loss is very, very small, and you need to give a bit of a good projection. You make a 2-to-1, 3-to-1 risk reward on a double top. You scratch 30%, you protect position and run almost a free trade, right? Giving a possibility that, let's see if that was the high, right? Let's see if that is the high. It is worth it. Just realize that if you break the local highs and you stay above it, there's no short. If you break this point of control and you stay above it, I would not short it. There is an interesting pivot. So if you do break these zones and you do get a little push, there's an interesting lower high gap on the 4-hourly. I mean, I would consider maybe this one as an SFP for an entry. 4-hour fair value gap, right? This one right over here at 68k. I mean, this is usually an interesting area for a rejection. Those wick highs after such a big candle. These fair value gaps usually provide resistance at the bounce for an SFP. You usually get a tap and rejection, regardless if it's going to be a $500 move or if it's going to be a $2,000 move. But these are very, very good rejection points. So you break it, there's no short. You tap and you get rejection. If you're in front of the laptop or the phone and you get the alert at 68k, you can give it an attempt, just because the risk management on these trades are phenomenal. They are phenomenal, really. The easy 2-to-1, 3-to-1 risk reward you can in a matter of minutes. I've seen this multiple times, right, where you just get a quick risk reward of 2-3. You take 50%, you protect position, let it see if it does get a stronger rejection, right? Look, if you're lucky, you might get a big rejection from that point, or maybe a small one and then get stopped out with the rest of the position. So it's a good level, 68k. It's the 4-hour fair value gap with that lower high right there, just in case you break the highs, and just treat it as a scalp. Be responsible with the risk management. If you break it, let it go. This whole thing about, shorting and adding to shorts or having wide stop losses, right? It's not the way to go. Thanks a lot for mentioning it. You're very welcome. Don't get me wrong. I love Kuhn, but his focus is on Elliott Wave education and not much actual trading. But it's all good. Pedro, yeah, maybe not. I'm not sure if he. I don't think he talks much about trading setups, right, and how to enter the trade. He's fully focused on giving a few scenarios on Elliott Wave theory. I am liking Ethereum price action better than BTC for shorts. How about gold? Gold is doing awesome. Reversal might be in 1 week, maybe could be around about 1 week. What about gold? Gold is got a nice bounce on gold. Who longed gold? Because I remember last week I took this long trade because someone mentioned gold for a double bottom, and we're just doing basic analysis, just understanding that we got a nice reaccumulation here on gold back in October to November of 25, and we got that wick low that was formed on March. And not every bottom, higher time frame bottoms are great for SFP, but if you have an extra confluence of a point of control of a reaccumulation zone, holy smokes, this is awesome. this is a great level for a reaction bounce, at least to the value area low, which is currently where we are at the moment. It might reclaim it, and it's a sign of strength. Point of control next resistance at $4,500. Yeah, gold is kind of wanting to reclaim the value area low of this zone, which is, it is a TP. You know, I did long this last week, and this was 4,300 zone is a major TP. I've scratched 50% of that long trade on gold, and I'm leaving a runner because gold, you know, maybe this is the end of this consolidation, and gold, you know, decides it reclaims and starts a bullish uptrend. It's just a very catch the low scenario on gold. So it's definitely worth leaving a runner. But yeah, it rejects from here, right? It fakes out the value area low, and then it rolls over. But that's okay, right? It's a good entry. It's already made a 4-5 to 1 risk reward. It was an awesome long, very worth long attempt last week, which we, you know, somebody pointed out, and we were discussing that long setup on a stream 5 days ago. And yeah, just a very worth. I'm not very much a gold trader, but if an opportunity does come, then I will take it. I mainly trade heavily more Bitcoin naturally. I'm trying to detect the opportunities, but yeah, gold is gold looks okay to get some more upside. You know, it's just because we've been downtrending here, big rejections, and I think a larger rangy bounce is very possible on gold. So yeah, that's what we got on gold. Not much. I'm not going to do, just long and strong from the exact low of last week. Let's see if it does manage to gain some strength. Profits have been taken. Position protected. So let's ride it. See if it wants to give us a little bit more and reclaim some resistance. NQ is flying. Yeah, NQ. We got a major correction. This is coming more. This is attempting to hit new all-time highs soon. Major correction here on NQ, swooping up these lows of this range, and now it's just going ballistic again. NQ looking strong for new all-time highs, maybe in the next couple of weeks. Not sure if it will be this week. Potentially it will, but it's just looking very strong. Strong bounce after the pullback that we got in the last 2 weeks. Well, so if you wouldn't be in that long, where would you attempt the next big shot, Andy? On gold. Oof. You know, I'm not much of a gold analyst. I really put full focus, as you know, on Bitcoin. But if I wanted to enter a new trade on gold, it's currently getting a little reaction here at this lower high. This could be a zone where the gold starts pulling back, like a fake entry of the value area low of the zone of the last few months, sweeping up that high, lower high, getting a little reaction. But this move does look pretty promising, I have to say, from last week. Does look, we're missing some information right there, but that was the weekend. So fill the gap in gold and come down to this territory. Could be a good rejoin zone here for the longs. Now we want to see not a sharp move down. We want to see a little bit of a reaction, free wavy move in, you know, as a correction, and then either a trend breakout, form a channel, understand that this move looks corrective, into support of a mini range. Point of control, value area low, getting supported. I mean, this 4,170 to 4,200 would be an interesting zone to pay attention on what develops here. But I do see this bounce very, very strong on gold. That we are at a zone of resistance, which is the value area low. You're sweeping some lower highs. Not particularly interested in a short, but unless you kind of sniper trading and giving an attempt right on this SFB. But to rejoin a long, we would have to get a pullback into this consolidation, which would be like wave 4 territory, right? If we consider Elliott wave, push up, boom, 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 push up, boom, 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 push up with the gap, fill the gap, get into the point of control, and you know, will it sweep up the lows or not? Well, it depends on how we move down there. But if we get lots of overlap here, it's not about catching the low, it's understanding that this does look corrective. But unless you're sniper trading and you're managing risk, then the point of control or the lows for an SFB would be interesting in gold. Point of control of this range, or you know, sweep up the lows of this reaccumulation would also be an option for an SFB. It's either here or it's either here. That's if you want to catch the low. If you lose the level, you're not longing. You're long on the reaction, stop loss at the low. Same here, long in here, stop loss at the low. You need to reclaim the level to consider the long. But this would be the territory between 4,200 and 4,170 for gold to form a higher low, basically. So yeah, it does require patience. No longs up here naturally. Shorting attempts, SFP would be more attractive at this point with this bounce that we got on gold throughout the last week. Okay, so yep, that's basically it. Just a quick overview on gold. Nothing too special, but just a quick overview. Fill the gap. Andy's speaking Dutch. Fill the gap. That's the chart gap. Much love, Mark Dutch. Thanks for joining the stream and hanging around, my man. Much appreciated. Anup, just wait. What's going on with Anup? Anup asking any questions? No, not sell the news event, we thought. Is it just going bananas from here because saw much foreshadowing before when the bounce was due? Well, we, in the case of gold, yeah, there's a little bit of a spike of volume here, as you can see, which preferably is the value area low from this area. Yeah, could be reclaiming it. Could it shoot up from here? You know, maybe. Pullbacks are the ones that are interesting, right? We want to get in a long on a pullback, not as we're pumping into a bit of resistance here. So, you know, they just need to be patient for a pullback. España, Cabo Verde, 8-0. I mean, I would expect at least 3 goals from Spain against Cabo Verde. We're going to have to see. Who knows? I'm surprised Holland against Japan was a 2-2, but I know Japan, they have fast players. Japan is relatively okay as a team. Cabo Verde I haven't followed, but I would expect easily 3 goals from Spain at least. But yeah, we're going to watch it outside, that is true, in about 45 minutes. So I'm going to be wrapping up this. I'm going to go to the bar with some friends to watch Spain against Cabo Verde. Get my Spanish national team t-shirt on. And yeah, we'll be watching that now in about 40 minutes. Much love to everybody. Japan have a few players in German league. Yeah, man. Japan also beat Germany and Brazil before. Yeah, Japan. Oliveri Benji. Yeah, Japan could be doing something in this World Cup. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining today's stream. Smash up the like button. Any questions? England. Yeah. Any questions before we wrap it up, guys? I will not be in YouTube tomorrow. Potentially it will be on Wednesday. If you want to know more about the analysis and how we're following up mainly Bitcoin for either longs or shorts, because there might be some longs as well, right? If you would have longed in these pullbacks, you know, still would have been better off, right? So if we do get a proven correction, there might be a long trade that is going to be attractive, and for shorts it's going to take a bit of time. But if you want to know more information about that, send me a message here to the Telegram. Open the Telegram. This is the command center and all of the information to join the community, where that's where you're going to get all of the updates, scenarios, and possible trading setups that myself and Devil are looking for. That's where we at, guys. Trading community information will be sent to the Telegram. Okay, send a message here to the command center. Go Spain. We'll watch the game with friends. Paz Maria, absolutely awesome. Vamos. And are you still streaming? You're a legend. Yes, I am. But finishing the stream right away in the next couple of minutes. Just seeing if anybody wants any questions here. What about BTC short right now? As explained, I would only personally. I would only personally attempt a double top. On the 1 minute, this does look like a bit of an impulse, but 1 minute time frame has so much overlap that you can fit a double zigzag here. Zigzag, correction, zigzag. 1 minute, it looks like an impulse, but this is the bad thing about doing Elliott wave theory on like 1 minute time frame and 15-second time frame, that something might look impulsive, but because there's so many candlesticks, you can fit a zigzag down here, correction, and another zigzag down here, which is a double zigzag, correction. So 1 minute time frame is a bit too noisy. I would only attempt a local double top or the point of control on Coinbase, which is at 67.1, or the lower high fair value gap here on the 4 hourly at 68k. That's actually an interesting rejection point. SFP from 68k, which is a 4 hour fair value gap, as you can see with those wicks here. Dodgy candle right there. Doji, not dodgy. Dodgy as well works. Anyway, much love everybody. Enjoy La Roja. Yes sir. Thanks a lot, Rick. Much love. Appreciate you, Andy. Have an awesome evening and enjoy. You too. Ilrich, Beth Maria, Mark Dutch, moderators, A Trader. Let's go, legends. 200 likes reached. Let's get to 250, guys. Let's go. We're providing the scenarios, the levels, responsibility, risk management. That's what we do best. Thank you, guys. Much love. And I'll see you in the next YouTube live stream or inside of the trading community. If you want more info, you got the first link down below. Thank you. And I'll see you in the next one.